The only person that jumps on the radio and says something is Channel 16 is for hailing and distress only. Please get off of the channel.
Hi, I'm Randy Vance with Icom America's Tales from Channel 16. We bring you the word from professional captains and watermen on marine communications on the VHF radio. And today we have Captain Kelly J. Gordon with us, who happens to be a 500 gross ton mega yacht captain. And Kelly, thanks for being on with us today. We really appreciate you taking your time off the water to talk to us about VHF communications.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And it's one of my favorite topics. VHF radio communication is there's so much to be talked about and learn. And so I'm so glad to be here.
Well, at sea, you've probably had some pretty crazy experiences in communications ship to ship. Kind of tell me about, have you ever been involved in any Good Sam rescues?
I have, actually. 3. And the first one was very interesting in terms of communication, in that I was in the Bahamas, just off the Exumas, and was up on the fly bridge, calm, cool, not a cloud in the sky, amazing day. And I come across the radio, vessel in distress. And I'm like, did I just hear that right? I was still fairly a young captain, and so I hadn't ever heard anything like that come across the radio before. And I listened again, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, that was the vessel in distress. Here it comes again. And I'm like thinking to myself, and I'm like, well, I have to do something. And I immediately look around, and we're in the Exumas. It's high season. Within just my own visible eyesight, there's 10 other yachts around, and a combination of small sailboats to all the way up to one big 200-foot motor yacht. And I hear somebody respond, and the radio transmission, I was surprised, was coming all the way from Nassau. So I let those two fellas finish talking to realize that the guy in Nassau couldn't help him. So I jumped in on the communication, and the fella told me, what was going on. He was completely dead ship. Nobody else other than the person in Nassau responded. There are 10 boats in my sight. Sailboats, small motor yachts, big motor yachts, not a single one responds to this guy's vessel in distress. The only person that jumps on the radio and says something is Channel 16 is for hailing and distress only. Please get off of the channel.
Tales from Channel 16 are brought to you by Icom America, the makers of the most professional grade VHF radios on the water. The new ICM510 EVO allows you to control the radio, make calls, receive calls, and monitor AIS information from up to 3 smartphones. The EVO also provides you with a 25-watt hailer, both inward and outward, giving you the complete on-the-water communications solution. Where were the legal authorities that should have been responding to that call?
I love the Bahamas. The Bahamas is my second home. I love them dearly. But the Royal Bahamas Defense Force is spread out. There's only, you think about how vast of an island nation the Bahamas is, and they can't be, and you know what, that's even for the Coast Guard. They can't be everywhere all at once. They can't. And we, as the United States, we have a great deal of resources, but they're a smaller island nation. They just don't. And that's nothing to them. I have plenty of friends in the Defense Force, but and that's something to any mariner listening that you need to be aware of. Bahamas or not, be aware of what country you're going to, and have an understanding with the Exumas. You're out there. You are out there. And my other 2 sea rescues were in the Exumas. And one of them, not to shoot my own horn, but one of them, if it hadn't been for me and my first officer responding and the vessel back, on the boat helping support the mission, the fellow would have died. We ended up getting him back to Nassau, where he had to undergo emergency brain surgery, like open the brain surgery. And what you have to understand, and this was a family that had just sold everything. They were on their maiden voyage. They had bought a catamaran, and they had done their research. They had done well, but I don't think they fully understood. You are out there, and with that rescue and the other one, I was actually in communication with the Exumas Parks Department, but they're limited too. They're limited in what they have, and helicopters at night won't land there. Seaplanes won't come at night, so you really need to be fully aware and do your homework as to where you are going.
Well, I think that's a good place for us to stop, Kelly. Thanks so much for being here with us today on Tales from Channel 16, and that was quite a tale. I'm Randy Vance with Icom America's Tales from Channel 16. Tales from Channel 16 are brought to you by Icom America, the makers of world-class VHF marine communications equipment and the official VHF radio of Boating Magazine's cover shoots.